It was just past midnight when Emily Carter stared at the near-empty bottle of baby formula on her kitchen counter, her 1-year-old daughter, Lily, softly crying in the next room. Emily's chest tightened, not just from exhaustion, but from helplessness. 3 part-time jobs, barely enough to cover rent, and no child support since her ex vanished. She had pawned her last valuable, her grandmother's bracelet, the week before. Desperate, with trembling fingers, she grabbed her phone and typed a message meant for a local women's shelter contact who had once offered emergency assistance. "Hi, I'm so sorry to ask, but I need help. I can't afford formula for my baby tonight. Anything helps. God bless." She hit send, tears streaming down her face, and collapsed into the couch, ashamed but out of options. What Emily didn't realize was that, in her fatigue and despair, she had mistyped the number by a single digit. And the message instead pinged on the phone of Alexander Reed, billionaire CEO of Reed Tech, a name that dominated tech headlines but meant nothing in her world of overdue bills and discount groceries. He was awake, preparing notes for an international investor call, when the message flashed across his screen. At first, he assumed it was spam or a phishing attempt, but something about the raw simplicity of the message stopped him. He reread it. Then again. Something in him stirred, perhaps it was the memory of his own mother, a single parent who had raised him in a 2-bedroom walk-up in Detroit, patching clothes and working nights. Without overthinking, he replied, "Where are you? I want to help. This isn't a joke." On the other end, Emily froze, rereading the message. Her heart pounded. "Is this the shelter?" she typed, confused. "No," came the reply, "but maybe it was meant to happen." Still unsure but with nothing to lose, she told him her cross streets. 30 minutes later, a black SUV pulled up outside her crumbling apartment. Emily peered out the blinds, panic setting in. Had she done something wrong? But a well-dressed man stepped out, holding 2 large shopping bags and a receipt from a 24-hour pharmacy. He knocked gently. "Emily?" he asked. She opened the door a crack, clutching Lily. "I brought formula. And diapers. And some baby food. I hope that's okay," he said softly. She couldn't speak. Just nodded, lips trembling. "Why would you do this?" she finally whispered. "Because someone once helped my mother when she was you," he said. That night, they spoke for hours. He sat at her tiny kitchen table while Lily finally slept peacefully, and Emily poured out the burdens of her young life, dropping out of college when she got pregnant, the struggle to keep her daughter safe, the dreams she'd buried. Alexander listened, not with pity but with sincerity. When he left, he gave her his business card. "I can't fix everything," he said, "but I can give you a start." Over the next few weeks, he arranged for a childcare stipend, connected her with a scholarship fund he quietly funded through his company, and helped her re-enroll in a local college program in social work. Emily, overwhelmed but determined, studied harder than she ever had, and within a year, she was on track toward her degree. But the story didn't stop there. At his company's annual shareholder meeting a year later, Alexander surprised the world by introducing a new initiative, Project Grace, dedicated to supporting single mothers through housing, education, and employment opportunities. This started with a text message, he told the stunned audience, from someone brave enough to ask for help. On stage, he invited Emily up, now glowing with confidence and hope, Lily clinging to her side. The room erupted in applause, but Emily just smiled at him and said, "You answered a message meant for someone else, but maybe it was meant for you all along." In that moment, what began as a mistaken text became a reminder of the unseen struggles people carry and the extraordinary power of compassion. Emily went on to become a counselor for young mothers, sharing her story not for sympathy, but for strength. And Alexander? He kept her first message framed in his office, a simple sentence that had reminded him of his humanity. Because sometimes, the most powerful business decision isn't about profits, but people. And the smallest act of kindness, an answered message, a knock at the door, can change not just one life, but many. In a world often too busy to notice, kindness still speaks the loudest. And sometimes, miracles begin with a mistake. Let me know if you'd like this adapted into script format, a narrated voiceover, or turned into a short film outline.